welcome to my channel, Surprise Comics. This is Matt coming at you with a contest. That's right, I recently reached 100 subscribers, and so in honor of that, I've decided to put together a little contest to show my appreciation for everyone who subscribed and, of course, all the future subscribers. So, what my contest is going to be is you need to be a subscriber to me. You need to post a comment on this video, tell me that you've made a video, and the video is going to be your top 5 or 10 purchases from this past year or acquisitions from this past year. It could be stuff you traded for, stuff that you're given, stuff you bought, whatever. It doesn't have to be the most valuable, just your favorite things you got this year. Give me 5 to 10 things. If you want to give more, that's fine. However many you want. Put Surprise Comics Contest as part of your video title, and you'll be entered into the contest. One other thing, I also want to know your comic book New Year's resolution, since we're coming about the new year. What do you want to do with your comic collection over the next year? Is there a certain issue you want to chase? What's your top comic you're hoping to pick up? Is there a run you're trying to complete? Tell me something you plan on doing in the next year as far as your comic collection. So 5 to 10 comics you've got in the last year, what you're excited about, tell me about them, show them to me, and what you plan on doing with your collection going forward, what issue you're looking for, what runs are you going to try to complete during 2016. So I just put this Red Hood figure up just so you weren't looking at nothing, but I'll go ahead and show you the prizes. First prize is Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 19. Don't know much about it. Looks from the cover, Mary Jane's wearing the spider suit, so maybe I'll read it so I can give you guys more information. A-Force number 1. We got a variant cover of Uncanny Avengers number 1. Spider-Woman number 1. The variant cover, the Joker poster of Batman number 40. This is the one that came out early this year that showed us the death of excuse me, of Batman and the Joker. Really hot book for about a month or two. It's really cooled off since then, but still a great issue to have. Great story. The whole in-game storyline was fabulous, and that's the conclusion of it. And the big daddy of the prizes, a CGC 9.8 variant cover of The Walking Dead 106. A really cool cover, has the background with a bunch of the different images over the years from The Walking Dead. And so those are the prizes, and I've already planned, if I get over 10 videos submissions for this contest, I'm going to add a second prize, and if I get 10 more after that, then there'll be a third prize. So, to kind of just juice it up a little bit, you see 30 people in a contest, or, I don't think I'll get 30, but you see a bunch of people already in a contest, it kind of reduces your chances of winning, so I'll up those chances every time I get more people entering. So those are the prizes. Maybe more prizes to come. I'll keep everyone updated as I get your videos. I'll mention you during my hauls and whatever of who's been submitted. This contest will start today. And if you've already basically done this video, like I know I watched a video today, that was someone's top 15 pickups from the last year. I think it was Omega, I think. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I watched his. And if you've already made that video, you put a comment saying you've made it already, and you tell me where it's at. And I see that it's dated before I put this video up, I'll go ahead and count you towards the contest as well if you let me know if you've already made this video, basically. Otherwise, that's the rules for the contest. You must be a subscriber to me, Make sure I see your video. If I put up a list of people who submitted and your name is on there, make sure you let me know if you made one. So that's the contest. Now, before I close this video, I'm going to just give you an example of the 10 comics. These aren't necessarily my top 10, but these are 10 that I was really super excited to get. And the first one is Batman 685. Now, at first look, it doesn't seem like it's that significant of an issue, but this one's really significant to me because this is the last issue I got that completed my run of Batman from number 600 all the way up to 712, and then all the new 52 issues, including annuals and special editions. So this was a big thing for me because I've been trying to collect that over the last couple years and trying to complete that run, and that, you know, put in that issue to make it over, like, you know, 150 issues now that I have straight of Batman, which was really exciting to get. But, you know, a Paul Dini story, so, you know, it's a good story, and, you know, it's a nice one to have, a little different one to have for my last one in that set. I picked up this one at San Diego Comic-Con this year. It's a Michael Turner variant, a very rare, very hard to find of Hulk #1. This is the first appearance of the Red Hulk, who, you know, there's rumors, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that he's going to show up in the Civil War movie. So it should be interesting to see. You know, obviously the character that becomes the Red Hulk is in the movie, so there's definitely potential for that to happen. Whether it happens or not, this is just an awesome comic and definitely an awesome variant. I've heard there's less than 1,000 copies of this floating around. Who knows if it's true or not, doesn't really matter. Next one, I picked up this one super cheap earlier this year. This is Power Man 48. This is the first meeting between Power Man and Iron Fist. I showed this one a few pickups ago. Yeah, it's awesome buy. Not just because it's a key book. It's not like it's probably a $30 to $40 book, and you pick it up for $5 at a shop where you usually don't get that kind of deal. It's just made it even sweeter. So I was happy to get that. Another book I picked up this year, and this one I just actually got last week. Doctor Strange 169. This is the first issue of Doctor Strange in his own series. Retells the origin of Doctor Strange. They had $60 on this. I got them, you know, I asked if there's any flexibility on the price, and they knocked off 25%. So I got it for $45, which is a pretty good deal. It's not, it looks pretty sharp. There is a little bit of water damage down here, which significantly knocks down the grade. But, you know, it's probably going to be, you know, between a 3 and a 4.5, depending if it gets a good press. You know, with the water damage, you know, when you press it, you can make a significant improvements. It gets rid of the waviness, but doesn't get rid of the stain. So it just depends on who's grading it that day and things like that with that kind of thing. But super excited to get that, especially with the Doctor Strange movie coming out later this year. And I probably will borrow a lot of the things from this actual comic to make that, while they make that movie. So it should be exciting. Another one I picked up earlier this year, the sketch variant of Superman 204. This was a special edition they handed out at a Comic-Con to store owners and stuff. You couldn't get it any other way, so it's really hard. I think it's like one per store, and to track them down and stuff is very. And I actually have 2 copies of that, so I'm super excited about that. Next one I was super excited to get, I got Doom Patrol number 99, which is the first appearance of Beast Boy. This is a pretty beat up copy, but I only paid $9 for it. And Beast Boy is one of my favorite characters from the Teen Titans, and to get his first appearance is super exciting, especially for such a good deal. And, you know, it's like I said, it's a beater copy, but I'd rather have a beater copy than no copy, definitely. You know, there's people who are condition snobs, and I guess call them condition snobs is probably a little rude, but, you know, there's people who want it in a certain condition. That's great, and that's fine. It leaves more copies like this for me to pick up at cheap prices. So, you know, obviously for resale, it's always best to get the higher grades, but for ones that I want for myself. I don't really care about the grade. This next book, I also got a really good deal on. I went ahead and got it graded. It was Suicide Squad number 23. Batgirl and Barbara Gordon are two of my, actually they're one and the same, are some of my favorite characters. This year, chasing down Batgirl and Barbara Gordon's first appearance really isn't in my price range, so I got her first appearance as Oracle in Suicide Squad 23, much more reasonable price. I got this one on a really good deal. A little disappointed in the grade, hoping for a little bit higher, but I did have this really bad rap, which brought it down. Which, you know, with CGC they say they don't take off points for manufacturer defects. It's only on the condition that they're grading, but they took off points for that. So with that in mind, then it's probably obviously the grade that it got. If they weren't going to knock that off, it would have been probably a 9.6, I'm guessing. Definitely not good enough for a 9.8, but I think it could have gotten a 9.6. But, you know, it's an awesome book to have when I was excited to find. And excited to have. These next book is actually 2 books, but it's actually 1 book. You've seen them if you've seen my CGC books before. It's my second print copies of Captain Marvel number 17, second print. And, you know, I went to go pick up, I went to a comic convention in June. So a year and a half after this comic came out, basically. And I was, saw Captain Marvel number 17, not the second print, but the first print. And people had like 20, 30 bucks on it at the show. And I thought, hey, I've seen that comic before. That shop down the road has it. So the next week after that show, I went down and I started going through their books. And I found like 4 copies of Captain Marvel number 17. And I was super excited. And then I say, hey, what about these second printings? So I punched them into eBay on my phone. And they were on for like 150 bucks raw. And I couldn't believe it, so I grabbed these. Those books sat in that bin. I probably looked at them 10 times without even knowing what they were over the year that they sat in that bin for. And nobody else picked them up. I'm super excited. And if anything, they had a dollar sale on those bins a month earlier, and I probably looked right past them, didn't even think about them. And so, I can't believe how lucky I am. I can't believe no one else picked them up. No one else saw them while I was there. But I'm glad they fell into my hands. You know, the store doesn't take the best shape, but still to come out with a 9.2 and a 9.4. I got them pressed, and the presser kind of screwed up, and the staples got kind of messed up, and that's actually the main thing, certainly in the grade now. The pressable defects got pressed out, but he created defects by pressing, so I'm never using that presser again. But, you know, I was super excited to get those. Love those books. Love the, you know, I'm probably going to sell at least one of them soon. And that will definitely pay for a lot of other comics, a lot of other stuff. But that's my number 3. Number 2 is my Alias. Number 1 got graded at a 9.8. I picked that up. You know, I saw Daredevil and I saw how awesome that show was. And I saw the next show coming out was Jessica Jones. And so I hopped on eBay right away and I found you know, buy it now, best offer. I think I offered 35. So I got this for like 38 to 40. I don't remember, it's the $3 or $5 shipping. And, you know, I picked it up for 40 bucks. It's going for so much more now. You know, when I got it, I couldn't believe what great shape it was in. I sent it into CGC right away. And there we go, 9.8. So super excited about that. Okay, so we're down to the last 2 comics I'm going to show you. This is the last one in the top 10. And then the one after that has to do with my goals for next year. So here we go. My favorite comic pickup of this year is Batman 357. This one was a huge pickup for me. It was a birthday present. And It's the first appearance of Jason Todd, who's one of my favorite Robin. And the Red Hood's my second favorite character behind Batman himself. And it's also the first appearance of Killer Croc, who's also one of the top villains in my mind of Batman. Super excited to get it. Got it for, I got it for like around 20 bucks. I guess it was a gift I got myself with money people gave me for my birthday. I got it on a message board. Super excited to get it. Got it for 20 bucks, way below what it was going for at that time in this condition. I did notice later on, I saw We Love Comics, Chris posted a video talking about how if the date scratched out right there, that it's not actually not the first printing when it first came out. And so when I saw his video about that, I went and checked mine, and I saw that mine was like that. So I was a little bummed out at first, but then I started doing a little research. And what happened was there's a second printing, and it's not really where they scratched out this. There's like 4 different issues in a combo pack. It was like a Walgreens exclusive back in the 80s, where these, Walgreens was experimenting, selling comics and stuff, and so they did combo packs and things like that. And they did that with 4 different issues. People got them, broke them up, whatnot. A lot of them got damaged in the stores and stuff. It's actually a lot lower print run, a lot rarer book than the original 357. So in some circles and to some collectors, this is the more valuable of the 2 different copies. Most people can't tell you the difference. The guy who sold it to me, he messaged me about it a little bit because he had it up for a price, not realizing how valuable it was at the time. And I don't think he knew that it was not the original printing. I don't think most people do. I don't think people were out there trying to rip people off with things like that. I mean, if they do, it's not really ripping you off because, this book could be just as valuable, if not more valuable, than the original printing. Definitely, as far as CGC is concerned, it's a lot rarer. There's very few of these that have been graded compared to the regular copy. And so just depends on what kind of collector. So I'm definitely very happy with it. I'm not looking to upgrade or replace it unless, I wouldn't mind having both if I got a really good deal on another one, but I'm definitely not going to pay what they're going for right now. And so those are my top 10 pickups, or 10 of my favorite pickups. There's probably other ones that if I thought about more, I'd probably rank them differently or sort them differently. But, that's not the point of this video. It's just to kind of show off what you got this year. And this one right here is another one I picked up this year. It's Batman 234, and it's definitely one of my favorite pickups of the year, but I'm not showing it as one of my favorite pickups. I'm showing it as an example of what I'm going to be doing this next year. There's 2 goals I have as far as my comic collection this year. Is I want to complete my run of Batman 500. So I can have the complete run of Batman 500 all the way up to the current. And I'm missing like 30 to 40 comics for that right now. So as long as I, dig enough long boxes, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to complete that over the next year. And the other thing I want to do is pick up some Bronze Age keys. So this is an example of one Bronze Age key I've already picked up. I want to pick up 232, which is the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. I'd love to get 227, which is the awesome Neil Adams cover. 222, which is a Beetle reference on the cover. And the one that's probably my main goal over the next year of comics I want to pick up is Batman 251, which is that epic Neil Adams cover with Joker holding the card and Batman's falling off of it into the city. It's one of the most famous covers in the history of comics. It's been one that I've been wanting for ages. And so I'm making it my mission this year. By this time next year, I'm going to make sure I have Batman 251. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to, come up with a little bit extra scratch to pick up that book. And so that's the video. I hope you enter my contest. Again, thanks for all my subscribers. Thanks to all the future subscribers. Shout out to Amazing Murfinator. He mentioned me in a video yesterday. I sent him and his kids some stuff, and really wasn't that big of a deal, but he really, he seemed to really appreciate, which is great. I love it when people show appreciation like that. And Obviously, you guys do, because like just ever since he put that video up, I've gotten like 6 or 7 new subscribers, and I'm sure it's because of that mention he gave me in his video. So thanks a lot, Amazing Murphinator. I probably should have mentioned it earlier instead of like 20 minutes into this video, but I'll get you next time. Yeah, more towards the beginning. So thanks for watching. Everyone have a good time.